And now for a look at what's trending online and on social media, Nicholas Rushworth joins us for Media Watch. Hello there.
Hi, Charlie.
And you're going to start with our top story of the day, the death of Zimbabwe's Robert Mugabe. You've been looking at reactions.
Indeed, he was an independence hero for some, a monster and a brutal dictator for others. There you can see a picture of him in the early days when he was wresting power from the UK, and the former leader of what was then Rhodesia, Ian Smith. He went on to stay in power for 37 years, didn't he, from 1980. Looking here on this tweet, we can see that photo and others of him during his career. Later on in life, he died at 95. The comment there, Mugabe, seen by some as among Africa's greatest liberators and freedom fighters, but viewed by others as a strongman and a tyrant. So very much divided opinion about his legacy.
And how about reaction from inside Zimbabwe?
Well, I looked at the Zim Eye, there you can see it, which had that reaction of whether he was a hero or a monster, and the announcement of Mugabe's death really provoking a lot of comment within Zimbabwe itself. So the Zim Eye, a group of independent journalists based in Zimbabwe who report on Zimbabwe, and if you scroll down on that Twitter feed there, was he a hero or a monster? We can see, yes, he was my hero, rest in peace. Another one saying he was a monster for 37 years. We knew fear, death, and whispered our dissent. To look at other comments, here we've got one in support of Mugabe saying that, well, if Charles de Gaulle and Churchill never sinned, let them throw stones at Mugabe even in his death. Do not allow other people to choose our heroes for us. Here we've got one comparing Mugabe to Mandela, Nelson Mandela of South Africa. Both men died at 95. The argument there is that Mandela left black South Africans without land. Mugabe ensured black Zimbabweans had land. And Mandela left South Africa with arrogant, unrepentant racists. Mugabe left Zimbabwe with no racists that disrespects a black man in his own land. So very much a really strong view about his legacy there.
However, his legacy is also definitely colored by his handling of the economy and human rights as well. How's that being reflected online?
Well, one of the things that I saw online was just this. It's a $100 trillion note worth around 40 US cents. When last in circulation, we saw record inflation under Mugabe, of course, and there that $100 trillion note worth almost nothing. Amnesty International has tweeted in the last few hours saying, during his 37 years in power, he presided over the brutal repression of political opponents and established a culture of impunity for himself and his cronies, while his government implemented a series of policies that have had disastrous consequences. So that whole monster hero debate is out discussion in Zimbabwe itself and across Africa and in lots of the world's publications.
But you wanted to end, I see, by looking at the reactions online about his sense of humor.
Well, yeah, here we've got one piece from saying that 12 times President Robert Mugabe, his jokes made us laugh hysterically. Memes and jokes appreciated by his supporters. Among one of the jokes is that here, when someone asks why you are chatting with your ex, ask them if they never used past exam papers for revision. So lots of cute phrases from Mugabe and a sign of a giant personality who has really dominated his country's history.
Mm-hmm. Like most human beings, a mixed legacy there, and one that will be seen differently around the world. Nick, next we're going to move on to Brexit. It's been a not-so-great week for Boris Johnson over there, and you've brought us a look at some of the cartoons that have come out of the latest debacle.
Well, there we've got Brexit chaos. Here we've got the Yorkshire Post with a cartoon saying, not time for reflection, but time for an election. And also the opposition having a fun time saying, not the can, but we can't have an election. And the
Is that the British version of this?
And this is the Economist's cartoon at the moment, showing Britain being pulled apart in all directions, and a sad lion indeed. One of the jokes out there is about this whole chicken and surrendering in British politics. There's one showing that it's actually Boris that's doing the chickening out.
Nick Rushworth, thanks for lending a little levity to this Brexit story as well. Thank you so much.